امشب خانم دکتر نسرین فلسفی برامون صحبت میکنن. تاپیکشون فانتاستیکه and the power of self-compassion. دکتر فلسفی آرئنشون رو از دانشگاه شیراز گرفتند، مسترشون رو از UCLA و PhD رو از کاتولیک یونیورسیتی واشنگتن و برای جان هاپکینز و یونیورسیتی آف نورث کارولاینا از سایکیاتریک کلینیکال نرس کار کردن. الان ریتایر شدن ولی holistic work in her private practice انجام میدن. و اگر توضیح بیشتر هستش خانم دکتر خواهش میکنم بفرمایید و خیلی خیلی ممنون و خوشحال که شما تشریف آوردید.
خیلی متشکرم. سلام به همگی و خیلی تشکر میکنم که باز منو دعوت کردیم که در خدمتتون باشم. همونطور که توضیح دادین این تاپیک خیلی مهم هست و امیدوارم که هممون بتونیم به یه نحوی ازش استفاده کنیم. من معذرت میخوام که پایپونتم به انگلیسی هست ولی خب بعضی لغاتاش خیلی مشکل بود که ترجمه کنم. چند تا چیز کوچولو رو میخواستم قبل از که شروع کنم انجام بدم. یکی این که در ضمن صحبتم اگر که اسم نویسنده یا آتر چیزی میارم همشون در آخر لیست شده، در نتیجه اگر که علاقه من بودین لازم نیست یادداشت بکنین. در آخرین سلاید اسم همه اون افراد رو که ذکر میکنم درش هستش. قبل از که شروع بکنیم به صحبت کردن میخواستم که یک مدیتیشن کوتاه انجام بدیم و تا اینکه هممون در برگردیم به here and now as so to speak. اگر که براتون امکان داشته باشه خواهش I'll just invite you to close your eyes and just notice your body and just notice that the body is breathing and find your breath anywhere you can find it, in your belly, in your chest, in your nostrils. Just find your breath and observe your breath with care, with compassion, with gratitude, and above all, without any judgment. Just breathe in and breathe out. And use your breath to ground you in here and now. Let go of whatever you were doing earlier in the morning or in the afternoon or the day before. And let go of whatever you have to do later. They can all wait for you. If you have any thoughts, put them in the periphery and do not dwell on them. Do not try to solve them. And in some way, acknowledge yourself for being here tonight. You could have been somewhere else doing something different, and you chose to be here. So set your intention to be present during this time that we're together. 3 more breaths. And whenever you're ready, softly open your eyes. All right. So let's go and look at some of the things we're going to discuss today. The outline, we're going to talk about what is self-compassion, the component of self-compassion, some of the benefits of it, and also paths to self-compassion. What are some of the things that we can do? We actually, it's going to be an interactive presentation, so we're going to do some meditation on certain practices such as loving kindness, forgiveness, and gratitude. And at the end, we're going to talk about how we can maintain our self-compassion practice. So what is self-compassion? In order to talk about self-compassion, we should first talk about compassion, which is virtue of empathy for suffering of others. And self-compassion is actually extending the same compassion toward ourselves when we are suffering, or when we encounter a failure, or sometimes when we just perceive some inadequacy. Sometimes it may not be really an inadequacy, but sometimes we perceive it that way. So self-compassion actually is being kind to ourselves. So if you're interested in this topic, Christine Neff is a person who has done a lot of work on this topic. And she talks about 3 phases or 3 components of self-compassion. The first one is self-kindness, which basically means treating ourselves the same way we are treating others. And also the fact that suffering is a part of being human. As long as when we love someone, when we care about things, and we somehow are not able to be with people that we love, it can also cause suffering. So suffering is a part of being human. It's also, mindfulness is another important component of self-compassion. In order for us to notice other people's suffering or our own suffering, we need to be present. We need to be aware. And this mindfulness was a topic that I spoke the first time around when I was in your group. And I'm just going to spend a couple of slides on that, since it is so interrelated with self-compassion, just in case some of you were not here in that presentation. So, but before I do that, let's just briefly talk about some of the benefits of self-compassion. People who practice being kind to themselves basically have more resilience, and they have better relationship with themselves and with others. And later on, we also talk about the fact that although some people think that, you know, when somebody shows self-compassion, is a selfish thing. And in fact, people who practice self-compassion have less narcissism. And instead of being reactive, we respond. And overall, we're going to deal with ups and downs of life, cope with it better. So any benefits that we have in mindfulness also exist in self-compassion, because mindfulness is a component of self-compassion. So let's just briefly review a few points about mindfulness. John Kabat-Zinn says that mindfulness is basically paying attention on purpose in the present moment without any judgment. So if you're just focusing on your breath and make your breath the focus of attention, you're practicing mindfulness. And in Pali language, which is similar to Sanskrit, the word sati means awareness or mindfulness. So earlier I said that all the benefits of mindfulness we also have in self-compassion. So the benefits were, having, slowing down the pace of our thoughts, accepting things as they are, and basically enjoy the richness of the moment. And it's important that it also talks about the fact that people who practice mindfulness, they become more compassionate toward themselves and others. That's how they are interrelated. And as I said earlier, people respond rather than react. Just wanted to share a slide that I showed in my previous thoughts, which was based on a study that I did, that I had 90 students and I divided them to 30 of them teaching them yoga, 30 of them teaching them mindfulness, and 30 of them nothing, or they were control group. And people who practice mindfulness and yoga is also a type of mindfulness practice, their self-compassion increased. So that slide actually shows how the control group didn't change, but the other two groups changed. Just continuing with a few more benefits of mindfulness, which also is in self-compassion, is we know that people who practice mindfulness, it actually, when it comes with their emotion, they are more in control of their emotion. It helps them with their all kind of physical stuff, from lowering their blood pressure, pain management, sleeping better. And also we know that it affects the brain's neuroplasticity, which means that we can actually change the structure of our brain when we practice that. And overall, people are much happier when they practice mindfulness. Something that I wanted to also mention about mindfulness and self-compassion, again, they are very related, is that it works it works because we become more spacious. A good analogy would be, if I put some salt in a small bowl of water, it may taste very salty. But if I put the same amount of salt in a large container of water, it doesn't taste so salty. So, for instance, when it comes to pain management, our pain may be the same, but our relationship with the pain is going to be different because we become more spacious. So that's a huge thing in terms of how and why mindfulness and self-compassion works. All right, so let's talk about our critical and judgmental mind. A good number of people have a tendency to berate themselves or talk about themselves negatively. And the negative thoughts really has a lot of impact on in terms of how we feel about ourselves. Some people become more tense or anxious. And we know that we have about 50 to 60,000 thoughts per day, and we keep repeating them every day. And a good number of them are negative thoughts. And after a while, they become very addictive. So it's really important that we be aware of our critical and judgmental mind. Again, Kristin Neff, that has done a lot of work on topic of self-compassion, talks about the fact that the negative thoughts affect our motivation, whereas being kind to ourselves, it increases them. So let's just, let's check yourself a little bit and ask yourself, do you learn from your mistakes, or do you get upset or beat yourself up when you make mistakes? We all make mistakes. Or do you have a tendency to discount your successes? Are you able to offer the same kindness that you are offering to a friend, to yourself? When you pass a mirror, do you see mostly some flaws, or are you able to see also positive things? So this is one way to actually check with yourself where you are with your critical mind. In order for us to change it, we need to be aware of it. So one of the reasons that we have this critical mind is also our unrealistic expectation. If you expect to be perfect and you cannot be perfect, then that people get upset. If you have this never good enough syndrome, or if you just don't like yourself, or you have internalize this judgment, no matter where you got it from. I love this last statement that says, self-criticism asks if you are good enough. Self-kindness asks what is good for you. So being able to be kind to ourselves is huge. So Neff again talks about self-compassion versus self-criticism and how it relates to motivation. I've heard a lot of times from people that they say, I have to criticize myself or punish myself to achieve something or to get what I want. If I'm just not hard on myself, I will not get there. And that's actually, research shows that the motivational power of self-compassion comes from desire to be healthy and reduce suffering. And when we learn to be kinder to ourselves, we become more resilient. I love it, that the last phrase that is from John Kabat-Zinn that says, there is more right with us than wrong. And that's the truth. But a lot of times we have a tendency to look at what is not right. It's also important to look at self-compassion versus self-esteem. A lot of times people ask me that question, so I thought, let me just put it out there so that we can talk about it. Self-esteem is how confidently you view yourselves and your abilities. And it also a lot of times depends on how you feel in the areas that you're successful or not successful. And sometimes people get into the trap of looking for validation when it comes to self-esteem. Meaning that you have to succeed in certain areas to have self-esteem. Whereas the true self-esteem actually comes from within. And by experiencing ups and downs of life and offering ourselves compassion and understanding and learn from what happens to us. Another question that comes up a lot is people say, well, is self-compassion is it like being selfish? And I think the first sentence actually responds to that we can apply all the stuff that has to do with self-compassion to others. But when it comes to selfishness, we cannot, it's not the same for selfishness. That's a huge difference. And again, research shows that basically people who are practicing self-compassion, they have a higher standard of morality. And self-compassion gives us more ability to see our mistakes clearly and work on them. And it doesn't mean that we're going to put the blame on others. You're not going to get a free pass, so to speak. So let's talk about some of the paths to self-compassion. It's really important for us to know that no matter who we are and what level we are, up or down or in the middle, we deserve decency, and we are deserving of being kind to ourselves. You want to be more of a friend to ourselves, meaning treating yourself the same way you're treating your friends. When it comes to situations, try to be on your own side, giving encouragements when things are wrong, was not or challenging. And when you have this self-negative talk, catch yourself and stop it because it can really take over. Later on, we're going to practice loving kindness meditation. It's a beautiful practice. Also, it's important for us to be able to say no. Some of us have a tendency to say yes more than saying no. And also some people are able to say maybe no to some people who are not that close, but when it comes to their kids or someone close, they're not able to say no. And it's important that you be able to do that. And it's good to ask yourself if you are able to do that or not. Having a me times is another important thing. And as I said earlier, when we practice mindfulness, it makes us also more compassionate to ourselves and others. There is a wonderful author and practitioner by the name of Tara Brach. She is in Washington, D.C. area, has all kind of talks. And she has this acronym called RAIN. And she suggests that when something happens that is tough emotionally or physically, it's good to practice it. So R stands for recognizing what is going on. Let's say you applied for a job and you didn't get it, or you wanted something for some reason you didn't get it. So just recognize what is going on and just pause, explore physically and emotionally. How does it feel in your body? How does it feel emotionally? And then find or ask yourself, and that's the end, how can you nurture yourself? Do you need to just put everything on hold and take a nap? Do you need to take a good shower? So this RAIN is a good practice that when you're going through a very hard time, if you just pause, recognize, allow to experience, and then find out what you need, is a lovely practice. And if you like that, actually she has a 10 minutes talk about it. In her book, she also refers to it. It's really, really important that when we want to be self-compassionate toward ourselves, we also include our body, because there is a relationship between our mind and body, and sometimes we neglect that. So it's important that we see, okay, what do I need right now? If you're very upset, you want to make sure that you're eating healthy, you're getting enough rest, enough sleep. And maybe you want to just take a warm shower and wash yourself from whatever effect the event had on you, or go for a swim, or do a mindful walk. A lot of times people like massage or a long shower, and even give yourself some massage with your hands in neck, feet, or hands. So just including the body helps a lot. So there are other paths to cultivating self-compassion, and I'm going to talk briefly about each one, and then we're going to practice them together. So loving kindness meditation, forgiveness meditation, and gratitude. Loving kindness meditation, or metta. The word metta just is the closest definition that in English have come up with is loving kindness. So in this practice, by the way, the person who does a lot of this work is Sharon Salzberg. She has written a lot of books, and she does a lot of talks about it. Raise your hand if any of you are familiar with loving kindness meditation. Very good. Okay. We're going to talk about it and practice it a little bit. So in loving kindness meditation, we offer certain statements, first to ourselves, then to someone who's close to us, then someone that we don't know that well, and gradually expand it to people that we don't know at all, and eventually to everyone and to all beings. Usually when I teach this particular practice, I do it over a course of 1 hour. But for today, I'm just going to do a short version of it so that you become familiar with what it is. So some of the traditional statements that people use when they do metta or loving kindness meditation is, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free of harm, may I be in peace. Or you can add any other statements that you like. And it doesn't have to be these four, but something that actually is like offering yourself positive stuff. You can modify them if you need to. And so for today, I'm going to guide you and divide it to 2 segments and see how it goes, rather than going through all of them. But I want you to get a flavor of it. So I'm going to ask you, just sitting comfortable and with your head, neck, and back all in one plane. And if possible, close your eyes. And I'm going to guide you with those statements, offering loving kindness statements first toward yourself and then towards someone who's close to you. And I'm going to repeat them a few times. And you just repeat them in your own, silently with yourself. So first, bring your attention to your breath. Just breathe in and breathe out. And just silently with yourself, offering the following statements. And I'm going to repeat them a few times again. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free of harm. May I be in peace. May I be. You can complete the sentence any way you like it. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free of harm. May I be in peace. May I be. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free of harm. May I be in peace. May I be. Offer these statements from your heart with compassion and with generosity. 3 more breaths and repeat a few rounds on your own. Now, bring to mind someone or a group of people who are very close to you. Maybe your husband, your children, or a combination of both. And visualize that person or persons, feel their energy, and offer them loving kindness phrases. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. Complete the sentence for whatever they may need. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. And offer these statements from your heart with generosity and with compassion. And repeat those statements a few rounds by yourself. Three more breaths and softly open your eyes and let's have a little discussion. Oops, I made that. In terms of how you felt, or was it easy? Can you see me now, or can you see everybody? I think can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
No, okay. Anybody likes to share in terms of how easy or how difficult it was or was not? You don't have to like it, you just have to do it.
It was very easy for me to follow you and understand what you said, and I could project what you said to the other person with no problem. And it was nice to be here with you.
Oh, okay, all right. So you were able to do both, right?
I was, yes.
Okay. Sometimes people tell me that it's easier to offer it to others than to themselves. And that says a lot. If you are in that place, just ask yourself the reason that you're not able, or easier to offer it to others than self. It's a good question to ask yourself. So let's. Now I'm going to go through the rest of the people and see how it feels. Okay. So one more time. And by the way, thank you for sharing, Miss Hakime. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Now let's close your eyes one more time and find your breath. And just breathe in and breathe out. And it's becoming, as we practice, it becomes a little bit easier to kind of get back to that calm place. And we're going to now I'm going to ask you to bring to mind someone who's an associate or someone that maybe you don't know that well, but meaning that person is not as close as your husband, wife, or children. Just choose someone that's a little bit more of a distance. For instance, if you choose, maybe somebody that you go to get a haircut, you know the name, but you do not know exactly who that person is in terms of, knowing that person. Or you can bring to mind, a friend that, that is not as close, but you might want to share the loving kindness. So you don't have to take a lot of time, just choose forward. And if you want to combine them, you can also combine them. So bringing to mind, either a friend or someone that you may not know as much, and offer this person loving kindness statements. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. Complete the sentence. And I offer these statements from your heart with compassion and with generosity. And repeat those statements a few times on your own. Visualizing the person or feeling the energy of the person. One last round of offering the statements to this person or these people. And now bring to mind someone that maybe had a little bit of a conflict. Do not choose something very heavy. Just, maybe somebody said something that you didn't like. And bring that person to mind. And see if you can offer that person loving kindness statements. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. May you be. Complete the sentence. And again, offer these statements with compassion, with generosity, and from your heart. And repeat a few times these statements. And even if you find it hard, still see if you can repeat them. And make one last round of these offerings for this person. And now bring to mind everyone who lives in this world, Lord, far end of the universe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free of harm. May you be in peace. And having knowing that since yourself is a part of everyone, and if the person that you have, that conflict is also a part of that, we can say, may we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be free of harm. May we all be in peace. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be free of harm. May we all be in peace. And again, offer these statements from your heart with compassion, with gratitude, and with generosity. Three more breaths. And softly open your eyes. So this was actually a very short version of them. Anybody has any comments? How difficult was for you to offer loving kindness to someone that maybe you had a little bit of conflict? Anybody wants to share anything about that?
Yes. I was very more relaxed and happy when you offer for everybody.
Okay, you like that one.
I just was waiting for that. And then the thought when I was taking a deep breath came to me, if we all can send that to the universe,
Yes.
what a place we all can be, you know.
Yes.
That wish goes to universe. So that was
exactly
a feeling for me to bring the universe in. So
exactly. So actually, we even bring the animals and the trees and the universe and the planets. So again, when you go through the complete segments of it, you go step by step through all of them. And you're right, it's really healing when you see that the whole universe. Yeah, I agree with you.
I had the same experience when you were talking about myself, someone else, someone with conflict or so. But when it becomes to everybody, it was like, I really mean it. And it was more powerful and I was more sincere, I want to say.
Yes, very good. Anyone else? And yeah, you don't have to necessarily like this practice, but it's good to kind of, if you have a comment for everyone to kind of hear if you like it or dislike it. Or
it was very hard for me to offer it to the person I have conflict with. And even when we were praying or wishing it for everybody, I wanted to exclude her.
Okay.
For some reason, even it gave me a headache when I was thinking of her.
Okay.
And not being able to wish her the happiness and the health and the peace. I didn't want to include her.
That's okay. So and that's okay. It's just good to be aware. That's okay. There is one that I absolutely love, And that's, for instance, when I don't know anyone, for instance, I'm biking and I see somebody passing, and all of a sudden I feel like sending that person loving kindness without even knowing who it is. It's kind of soothing and healing. It also helps me when I do that. But I do understand that if you have a big conflict with some people, with someone, it can be hard. That's what I said, choose someone easy. Don't choose something very heavy duty. When you practice this, you don't have to necessarily go through all of them. You can just pick and choose. You can just, maybe one day you are very, feeling down. You can just offer it to yourself and make it one. One day when you see it, a lot is happening in the world, you can just say, I'm going to do it for the all beings. So it is something that you're not stuck necessarily with all of it. And if you like to learn more about it, just to check. There are lots of people who write about this meditation, but Salzberg is actually, she has written multiple books on this. All right, shall we go to the second? I'm going to go to forgiveness meditation. So forgiveness meditation is done in 3 parts. You first, traditionally, you first ask for forgiveness from those you have harmed, then you extend it for those who have harmed you, and then you forgive yourself. But what I normally do, I start by forgiving self. And I just want to share, I think it's much easier to go that way. First of all, forgiveness is not that easy, but it plays an important role in self-compassion. It's very heavy. It's a process. It cannot happen in a session or so. If we can just plant some seeds today, that we have done a lot. And we can just create a space and go from there. And I personally prefer that we offer that first offer forgiveness first to ourselves. And also, I say, if you're not able to forgive, still forgive yourself for not being able to forgive, because sometimes it's hard to do. It's not an easy thing, but a lot of times people who carry a lot of grudges, the heaviness is more on them. If you can let go, it's one of the best way you can be kind to yourself. So what I like to do for today is just do a short forgiveness practice for self, which is I think it's much easier, although some people may not find it, just in the interest of time. So find a comfortable position and close your eyes and just breathe in and breathe out. Bring your attention to your heart. Possible closing your eyes. And let your body and mind be relaxed. And breathing gently into the area of your heart. Let yourself feel all the barriers you have erected and the emotions that you have carried because you have not forgiven. Not forgiven yourself, not forgiven others. Let yourself feel the pain of keeping your heart closed. Then breathing softly, begin asking and extending forgiveness. And letting the images and feelings that come up grow deeper as you repeat them. So again, for tonight, we're going to practice forgiving self. There are many ways that I have hurt and harmed myself. I have betrayed or abandoned myself, many times through thoughts, words, or deeds, knowingly or unknowingly. Feel your own precious body and see yourself, the ways you have hurt or harmed yourself by doing or not doing. Feel the sorrow you have carried from this and sense that you can release these burdens. Extend forgiveness for each one. And for now, just choose simple one. Repeat to yourself, bringing to mind one area that you like to forgive yourself. For the ways I have hurt myself through action or inaction, out of fear, pain, and confusion, I now extend a full and heartfelt forgiveness. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And repeat the expression, I forgive myself. And for some great pains, you may not feel a release, but only the burden and the anguish or anger you have held. So touch this softly. Be forgiving of yourself for not being ready to let go and move on. Forgiveness cannot be forced. It cannot be artificial. Simply continue the practice and then let the words and images work gradually in their own way. In time, you can make the forgiveness meditation a regular part of your life, letting go of the past and opening your heart to each new moment with a wise, loving kindness. Bringing your attention to your heart, breathing into your heart, breathing in and breathing out. And whenever you're ready, softly open your eyes. So how difficult or how easy was to forgive yourself? And it doesn't have to be something big. Maybe, you said something that was not very kind and you just feel, you keep thinking about it. And again, this is a topic that is very, that's very difficult. And at this point, it would be important that you just set your intention that maybe eventually you work on some of them. And again, because it is such a difficult topic, I even don't get to the part that has to do with forgiving other people who have not been nice or kind to you. But it is good to kind of allow yourself to gradually get there, even if you plant a small seeds. Right, let's go to the next path for, okay, this is a lovely way to actually end our talk, because gratitude, you cannot feel bad when you are feeling grateful. So gratitude is the ability to be thankful and to see and appreciate the good that is in our lives. And people who practice gratitude, it improves their health, it helps their relationship, and overall they are happier people. In fact, they feel physically that it also helps them. When we practice gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, and those are neurotransmitters that makes us feel good. And Robert Emmons, who's a professor at UC Davis, has written wonderful books about the importance of gratitude and how it can improve our life. And he believes that regular practice of gratitude actually rewires our brain to be happier. And now we're going to do a little bit of a meditation on gratitude. But before that, Robert Emmons believed that there are 3 components in gratitude. First one is just noticing that, that there are positive things in our life and showing gratitude for it, and also adapting the behavior of the person who does something that feels good, and so we also operate that way. Okay, so let's practice do a gratitude meditation. It's an easy one. It's a fun one, I believe. So one more time, close your eyes and find your breath. And just breathe in and breathe out. And again, it's impossible to feel stress or fear when you are grateful. We're going to explore various aspects of our life while you are holding an attitude of gratitude. So think of people in your life and in your relationship with them that you are grateful for. Bring to mind a person that you appreciate. What is about this person that you appreciate? And just reflect on that. Call to mind any recent situation that you are grateful for. And think about the personal qualities that you have that you appreciate about yourself. What lessons have you learned recently that you are grateful for? Reflect on life-sustaining resources that you are grateful for. And call to mind some of the material things that you appreciate and makes you feel good. Let your mind explore whatever else you are grateful for and appreciate. And now expand that gratitude to a larger level and silently repeat, I offer my gratitude for the blessings of this earth I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the measure of health I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the family and friends I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the community I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the teachings and lessons I have been given. I offer my gratitude for the life I have been given. And focusing on your breath, bringing your attention to your heart, allowing good feelings associated with gratitude fill up all your senses and your pores, your muscles, your bones. And 3 more breaths. And whenever you're ready, softly open your eyes. So how did you like or dislike this last one?
Much easier.
Easier, yes. I intentionally put it at the end. Yes. I wanted to make sure that we end on a very lighter note. So
Much
I'm sorry?
much easier, and also I personally do this every day
Excellent, yes.
compared to forgiving for myself or someone else.
Yes, it's much easier. That's correct, yeah.
Much
So
easier.
it's good to have some gratitude practice. It seems that Dr. Madani, you already have one. So if you do not have a gratitude practice, it's good to come up with one. You can, like, if you think of certain things you like, for instance, I love to swim. So after I'm on my last lap, I call it gratitude lap. And I say, I'm grateful that I can swim, that I can enjoy swimming, that I have access to a pool, that I can afford to go to a pool, that I can drive to go from home to the pool. If you just think of what you like and just break it, there is so much that you can be grateful in life. Some people have gratitude journals, and at the end of each day, they write about that.
I was thinking when we always in the gratitude situation, the negative thought is out of our mind.
Yes.
If you always look for something that you're grateful,
yes,
and the negative thought is not coming with you, and it's such a pleasant thing to always to be thankful for what you have. So
yes, in fact, there is a practice that says there's a 3-part practice that you notice what's happening, and as soon as you see it's a negative thought, flip it to what you are grateful for, and automatically that negative thought is cleaned up. It's a very easy practice. Notice what's happened, notice your thought, and switch it to something you are grateful for. Anyone else has a gratitude practice, or you're thinking of having one?
Nasrin John, it reminded me of a very famous جمله in فارسی هممون میدونیم، فکر میکنم از سعدیه که گفته شکر نعمت نعمتت افزون کند.
Yes, that's true.
کفر که نگاتیو هست نعمت از کفت بیرون کند. بنابراین وقتی که شکرگزار هستیم خود به خود این انرژی پخش میشه، نه تنها که خودمون رو خوشحال میکنیم، دیگران رو هم میتونیم خوشحال بکنیم.
خیلی ممنون، چقدر قشنگ گفتین. و gratitude is one of the best way you can be self-compassionate. It makes you feel good. Yeah. So if you don't have a gratitude practice, find one. Let me see what else. So let's just look at how you can sustain your practice. First of all, you want to set your intention. For instance, you say, okay, I'm sorry, somebody had a question? I thought I heard a noise. Okay. So you want to set your intention on coming up with a practice for self-compassion. It can be gratitude, it can be, trying to forgive yourself, or any other stuff we discussed. And it's good to start easy, maybe, an easy project, but it's important to do it on a regular basis. If you have a hard time doing it on your own, maybe you can listen to some audios or video or see some videos. There are some groups that actually focus on self-compassion, different aspects of it. And there are also some centers that offer some of the stuff that we talked tonight about. There are books and videos, and there are a lot of them free of charge. I have a list of all the people that's in my talk I referred to. So any of them, and he also talks about their specialty. So any of these topics that you wanted to expand upon, is you can just, if you just Google their name, you can either see the name of their books or their videos, their talks, and they're just in abundance of that there. Any question?
Yes, I'm sure we have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for dissecting all the process.
My pleasure.
And the gratitude and forgiveness, self-compassion,